The Lighthouse Oath. Nora's epic true ascent. At 5:12 a.m., the lighthouse on Harbor Point threw a thin cone of white over black water, while gulls argued with the wind. Nora stood at the railing with a paper cup of diner coffee and a cardiologist's printout folded in her pocket. Hypertension, pre-diabetic range, weight trending upward. 3 years of grief had sanded her down after her mother passed. Promotions arrived, but joy didn't, and the staircase to her third-floor walk-up felt like punishment for memories she couldn't outrun. She pulled a pen from behind her ear, wrote 5 words on a receipt, and read them into salt air like a contract. I keep hard promises to myself. Underneath, smaller and sharper. No drama, only evidence. If motivation showed, fine. If not, the calendar would. If the mirror argued, the notebook would answer. She tucked the receipt into her sock like a talisman and turned toward the stairs that climbed from the pier to the street. The first mountain she would make bow, one quiet flight at a time. Day 1 refused the highlight reel. The night before, she laid out shoes and filled a bottle. In the morning, she set her phone to airplane mode and walked 5 minutes up and down the seawall until breath matched steps. Then the circuit that wouldn't quite wake every old ache while still touching every pattern she'd need to rebuild. Box-height goblet squats to teach depth and control. Incline push-ups on a bench, elbows tucked and ribs stacked. One-arm backpack rows to wake lats and pull her shoulders out of the keyboard curl. Suitcase carries with water jugs down the pier for posture and anti-tilt core. A 35-45-second plank with glutes on and a long exhale. She filmed 1 set, winced at flared ribs, and wrote 2 cues in Sharpie on her wrist. Exhale to stack, and knees track toes. Every set ended with 2 clean reps in reserve. The point wasn't to win the day, it was to make tomorrow possible. Baselines, not bravado, went in a thrifted notebook. Waist at the navel, an easy mile walk time, max clean push-ups. She finished with 2 minutes of nose breathing so her nervous system filed training under safe. On the 6th step of the lighthouse stairs, she always stopped. This time she climbed to the 7th, and laughed at the smallness of the moment and the immensity of what it meant. Structure turned the oath into a plan. Nora opened her calendar and blocked 3 45-minute training windows like rent payments. Monday dawn, Wednesday lunch, Saturday morning. She texted her cousin, former track kid turned accountant, and wrote, "Attendance buddy, if I miss, call me out." Program. A 3-day full-body split that hits everything busy people actually need. Squat or lunge, hinge, push, pull, carry, and core. So frequency stays high and decision fatigue stays low. Warm-up. 5 minutes of brisk walking, 15-20 band pull-aparts, and 2 easy ramp sets for the first lift. Progression ladder. Week 1, 3 sets of 8. Week 2, 3 by 9. Week 3, 3 by 10. Week 4, add the smallest plate and return to 3 by 8. Compounds lived at 1 to 2 reps in reserve so technique could lead and joints could thank her later. Accessories lived in the 10 to 15 range with slow, controlled eccentrics. Every session ended with a carry, farmer or suitcase. Because posture forged under load follows you into elevators, conference rooms, and the kind of staircases that used to demand apologies. Technique was the cheat code grief had never offered. 5 cues, inked on a sticky note inside her logbook, fixed 80% of what went wrong. For squats and lunges, root a tripod foot, big toe, little toe, heel. Keep ribs stacked over pelvis, let knees track over toes, and drive the floor away. For hinges and deadlifts, crack a walnut in your armpits to lock lats, push hips back like you're closing a car door, keep the load close, hold a long neutral spine, and finish with hips through, not lower back. For pressing, screw hands into floor or bar, elbows around 45 to grind on push-ups and bench, biceps by ears overhead, brace before you press. For pulling, chest proud, shoulders down and back, elbows toward hip pockets, pause and squeeze. For carries and core, zip the ribs, walk tall, no swaying, let the midline earn its paycheck. She filmed 1 set per main lift each week and fixed 1 thing per lift, because precision compounds faster than weight. If the last rep got messy, the set ended. Strong wasn't chaos at a PR. Strong was clean across hundreds of quiet reps when nobody clapped. Cardio changed jobs, from punishment to engine. Nora ran the 2+1 rule, 2 Zone 2 sessions and 1 brief interval day. Zone 2 was conversational, incline walks on the ocean path, easy cycling to the next town, sometimes a light jog. 25 to 40 minutes where she could speak in full sentences, and her heart rate sat roughly at 60–70% of max. Intervals were 8 rounds of 20 seconds smooth hard on a bike with 100 seconds easy, bracketed by 5-minute warm-up and cool-down. The quiet hero was neat, non-exercise activity. The accidental burn that happens when you design a day instead of hoping it happens. Walking calls, parking far, choosing stairs, a 10-minute stroll after dinner to blunt glucose spikes and settle her mind. Steps climbed from 6 to 8 to 10,000 most days without trespassing on recovery. When fat loss stalled, she added 15 minutes of Zone 2 before she added another workout or another layer of self-loathing. Engine over ego. Repeatable over romantic. Food ruled the mirror. Food. Nora set calories by goal. Body weight in pounds times 12 for fat loss, 14 for maintenance, and adjusted every 14 days by trend, not by a single loud weigh-in. Protein became law at 0.8–1.0 grams per pound of goal body weight, spread across 3 to 4 meals. Plates obeyed the plate method. Half produce, a palm of lean protein, a cupped hand of fiber-rich carbs, a thumb of healthy fats. Breakfast had 3 reliable versions. Greek yogurt with whey and berries, 5 minutes, no stove. Eggs with oats and fruit, 10 minutes, pan hot while coffee brews. Cottage cheese with pineapple and toast. Lunches were assembly only, pre-cooked chicken or tofu, microwave rice, bagged salad, olive oil and lemon. Dinners rotated salmon and potatoes with broccoli, turkey chili with beans and rice, and a frozen veg stir-fry with sliced flank steak. Hydration lived at 2 to 3 liters daily, with a pinch of salt after sweaty sessions. Eating out was a script, not a scandal. Led with protein, swap fries for potatoes or greens, sauces on the side, water before the entree. Cravings got a bridge snack, yogurt, berries, a few dark chocolate chips, then lights out. Supplements, optional and basic. Whey if helpful, creatine monohydrate 3 to 5 g daily, caffeine if tolerated. 95% came from repeatable food, not magic powders. Recovery turned from afterthought to engine. She guarded sleep like the Lighthouse guarded ships. 7 to 9 hours when possible, consistent sleep and wake times even on weekends. The bedroom became a cave, blackout curtains, cold air, and a charging cable in the kitchen so her phone slept far away from her hands. A landing strip calmed the mind. Dim lights, a warm shower, 10 pages of paperback, and 2 minutes of slow exhale breathing. A 5-minute mobility loop unfroze desk hips and scolded erectors. Couch stretch, thoracic opener over a rolled towel, ankle rocks, and 3 slow, world's greatest reps. Between meetings, she took a 2-minute box breathing break. Inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, so stress leaked out of the day instead of accumulating like interest. Every 6th to 8th week, a planned deload trimmed total sets by 30–40%, sharpened technique, and let her leave the gym with caged energy. Pain had a framework. 3 out of 10 discomfort meant reduce load and keep the pattern. 4 to 5 meant change the variation. 6 or sharp meant stop, walk, reassess. She trained around pain, not through it, because longevity beats bravado every time. Setbacks kept their old appointments. A head cold stole a Saturday. A product launch swallowed 2 evenings. A knee mutter at the bottom of a squat tried to start a fight. Old Nora would have negotiated with quitting. New Nora negotiated with scale. She shrank the plan to 10 focused minutes. Goblet squats, incline push-ups, rows, a 30-second plank, until the timer sang. She swapped back squats for goblets to a box when knees hissed, pressed dumbbells with a neutral grip when shoulders sulked, and slowed eccentrics to own positions. She wrote 3 identity lines on the mirror. I train on busy days. I choose protein. I never miss twice. And said them out loud when the apartment was quiet enough to hear herself choosing. She printed a tiny 4-box grid, training, protein, steps, sleep, on a sticky note and checked it nightly with an actual pen, because humans are wired to chase streaks. When grief clawed from the past, she didn't try to win with will. She walked, breathed, and let the plan be bigger than the feeling. At 60 days, she circled 2 tests in red ink. A bridge run at sunrise, 3 miles across Harbor Point and back. And, 6 weeks later, a novice deadlift and carry at a community strength day. Symbolism mattered. The bridge had become a silent judge. The carry would measure posture she could use outside the gym. Training tilted without turning circus. More incline in zone 2. Rucks with a backpack stuffed with water bottles. Carries at the end of every lift day. And deadlifts kept at 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Bar close, lats on, hips through, back neutral. She rehearsed event days like meetings. Conservative warm-ups, chalk routine, breath on the pick, eyes on the horizon, and a mantra she could say when doubt knocked. Own the setup. The rep will follow. She practiced eating a real dinner the night before and sleeping on purpose instead of scrolling until the sun scolded her. The bridge morning smelled like steel, salt, and courage. She started deliberately slow, shoulders soft, jaw unclenched, breath through the nose until pace found her instead of the other way around. At the midpoint, the old voice rose. Stop here. You always stop here. She lengthened her exhale, thought of her mother's hands, and kept moving. The lighthouse light winked as the sky lifted its first blue. She did not sprint the finish. She arrived like a promise fulfilled, lungs loud but obedient. 6 weeks later, under gulls and music from a cheap speaker, she stepped to a platform for the first time. Opener. Crisp. Second attempt. Honest, heavy, clean. Third, a small PR that felt less like conquering weight and more like laying down an old burden she carried too long. Carries wobbled once, then straightened. She walked tall, chalk on palms, grin she hadn't felt since college choir tours. She did not win a medal. She won her mornings back. 90 days into the oath, the cardiologist blinked at numbers. Blood pressure inside the lines, resting heart rate down, waist minus 3 inches. The elevator became optional. Stairs became background noise. The peer coffee tasted like a future instead of a delay. This is the handoff. Epic isn't a soundtrack. It's evidence repeated until it becomes inevitable. Write your reason on paper you can touch and tape it where excuses live. Block 3 45-minute windows right now and defend them like rent. Run the simple split that hits squat, hinge, push, pull, carry, core. Keep 1 to 2 clean reps in reserve on compounds and progress 1 variable weekly. Add a rep, the smallest plate, slower eccentrics, or shorter rests. Use the 2+1 cardio rule and collect steps like corner pennies. Build plates that make protein boring and easy. Drink water like it pays the bills. Sleep like strength depends on it, because it does. Film 1 set per lift. Fix 1 cue, repeat weekly. When a day explodes, shrink the plan. When a week wobbles, never miss twice. Tomorrow morning, do this without negotiating with your feelings. Day 1, back squat 3/8, bench 3/8, row 3/10, farmer carry 4x40 steps, plank 3/40s. Day 2, zone 2 walker cycle, 30-40 minutes plus the 5-minute mobility loop. Day 3, Romanian deadlift 388, standing press 388, pull down 310, split squat 38 leg, palif press 310 side. Day 4, steps to 8-10K and protein at every meal. Day 5, lunge 310 leg, incline dumbbell press 310, chest supported row 310, kettlebell swing 312, side plank 330 side. Day 6, intervals 8x20 smooth hard, 100s easy, on a bike, plus long hamstring calf stretches. Day 7, outdoor recovery walk, review the log, plan next week, buy 2 proteins, 2 veggies, 2 carbs you actually eat. Tape the 4-box grid, training, protein, steps, sleep, to your fridge, and mark it nightly with a pen. When your brain whispers later, answer now. When a rep gets messy, end the set. When a day collapses, take the win that still exists. A walk, a plank, a protein-anchored dinner, an early bedtime. Repeat long enough, and one morning the lighthouse won. To just light your path, you will realize you became the lighthouse. Keep pushing your limits. Wardline. Subscribe for more powerful ideas.